Now, there are different types of cameras. There are cameras that we call DSLR cameras, and there are cameras that are SLR cameras, and there are also cameras that are in the class of camcorder. This camera you see here is a camcorder class. This is it. This camera here is a camcorder. When you see any camera that is of this nature, it's a camcorder. Camera that is this way, it looks this way, is called a camcorder. There are so many camcorders, different sizes, different qualities, and different products are made. Now this is a camcorder that is basically used for TV production. Now this is a DSLR camera. This camera here, one of the difference between this camera and the one I just showed you, this is a Sony 6500. This camera here, it has a kit lens. This is the lens. This is the lens. Now when you keep this camera this way, when you look right here, camera, please come closer. When you look right here, there's a button here. Now when you look right here, you press this button down. When you press this button down, then you wind this lens this way. You are going to mount this camera or mount it. Now when you unmount this lens out, you can fix another lens. This lens here is the one that came with the camera. It's called a kit lens, K-I-T, kit lens. So when you remove this lens, you can now mount any lens that you want that will help you upgrade your work. If depending on the work that you want to do, this lens has limitation to how it can zoom to and what it will give to you, which is why it's called kit lens. We have other lenses that are called zoom lens, prime lens with you hear 18 to 55, basically kit lens, and you hear 70 to 200. You hear so many. So they have different sizes with different jobs. Now this camera here now can do much more work. Anyways, when it comes to event snapping, video, you can do everything. And this one as well, these camcorders are basically used for event coverage, especially the ones you are using for live coverages, because their batteries always last longer than the DSLR camera. Basically, that's one of the reasons why these cameras are used for event coverages. You can see this is where you slot the battery in, and then here is the lens. For a Sony camera, they always have a G lens. We call them G lens. So this is the lens. This lens here cannot be on mount, so it's a permanent lens over there. Then when you want to open this own focal lens, you can see there's one focal lens here. It's closed. So when you want to open it, what you do is there is a click here. Check it. This is a click here. So you push it. Now when you push it up, you hear a click. Now when you look at it, you can see that the lens is open. You can see it. Now let's do it this way. Close, open, and then return. In our next class, I'm going to be teaching you how this camera is on and how it's operating.